Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Urban Update. I'm Byron Barnett. On the show today, we'll give you all the details on the fun and amazing shows coming to Boston for this holiday season as Boston Arts Executive Director Catherine Peterson joins us later on in the show. Also, the amazing story of the incredible turnaround of the Mildred Avenue School in Mattapan. That's in just a few. But up first, recently the Massachusetts Women of Color Coalition celebrated its second year networking and dinner with keynote speaker Charlotte Golar Ritchie, the first African-American woman to run for mayor of Boston. The Massachusetts Women of Color Coalition is a statewide organization of women of color founded in 2015, dedicated to eradicating racial inequities. The coalition works to level the playing field in the areas of politics, education, economic development, criminal justice, and health and wellness. They are intergenerational and non-industry specific, starting with high school girls of color. Now, here to tell us more about the organization and the recent celebration is Celia Blue. She is president of the Massachusetts Women of Color Coalition and former Register of Motor Vehicles for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Welcome to Urban Update, Celia. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Byron. It's nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. First off, congratulations on your second anniversary, by the way. 2 years. That's really something to be proud of. Why don't you maybe could start off by telling our viewers a little bit more about what inspired you and others to launch this organization.
Sure. So a couple of years ago, this started with Brenda Jenkins and I. We were both from Worcester, Massachusetts, and we had the vision around bringing women of color together. We really felt that our voices are really not being heard. And when we're at the table, there's one of us, and it leads to just lack of moving the ball in terms of the issues that impact women of color. And so we reached out to women that we've worked with in the past that are dedicated to the community, social and economic justice. I'm really passionate about women of color issues and started the organization to create a movement and have an infrastructure to do that. So we're in the middle of creating that movement now, and we're very excited.
Who are the women in this coalition?
So our membership is statewide, and it is, as you mentioned earlier, intergenerational, starting from girls of color in high school, and we have members all across the Commonwealth now. So it's non-industry specific. So if you're a woman of color, this is the organization for you to be able to really help us to push for change. Mm-hmm.
Now, why do you think it's so important to tackle these issues faced by these women? And it seems like it's probably more vital than ever, no?
Absolutely. The reality is that things of our environment really have not changed in many years. I don't like to deal in necessarily anecdote. I'd like to deal in data, and this is data that's readily available to anyone. But the bottom line is, let's just look at pay equity, for example. Women make 80 cents on the dollar, but women of color make less. Black women make 64 cents on the dollar, Native American 57 cents, and Latina 54 cents on the dollar. These things just have not changed, and if we are not, we need to have our skin in the game. So if we want to have change, then we need to be involved in working to push for change. This allows us to come together as women of color, where our voices can be heard, and we're more powerful together. And this is really the impetus to help push the dialogue to attack some of these issues that we face every single day.
And what about some of the events and activities and the campaigns that the coalition is going to be participating in during the year, or has participated in?
Right. So last year we rolled out 3 of our platform: our education platform, our health and wellness platform, and our politics platform. This coming year we will be rolling out our criminal justice platform as well as our economic empowerment platform. We have monthly calls now that we will be doing statewide with our millennials. It's really important for us to continue to build that base. And we have regional meetings throughout the Commonwealth every 2 months where we meet in the regions to really talk local, because it's important to engage our women of color in our communities. So those are the things, and we are focused on a few other items. The a pay equity law that's going to be in effect in July next year here in Massachusetts. We will be looking to see how we could really help to push for change in that area, whether it's through policies, seeing how organizations are going to handle that, as well as the millionaire's tax. We are an advocate for that, and we will be looking to see how we can do some work around that. I know that's being challenged now, but it's on its way to the voters next year. So we will have an impact in that area as well as with voters. Those are some of the key areas we'll be focused on this year.
What is your argument for you supporting the millionaire's tax? What is your argument for that?
Well, we feel that it is focused on the funds going specifically to education and infrastructure, transportation. That's always key areas for our communities, and education is an area that's very important. We'd still lag behind there.
What are some of the benefits that your members have found by joining the coalition, being in the coalition?
So number one, it's the support. We walk, in our experiences, we have different experiences as women of color. It is a place where we can have brain trust and support, coaching and developing. We mentor, and we also are building leaders. We have leadership positions throughout the Commonwealth right now that we are filling. And so this gives you the full range to be able to be involved in really pushing for change, which we think is really important.
Talk to me again about some of the other topics that are major issues that you're going to be dealing with in the coming year that are important to women of color.
So I think an area for us is around politics. I think that we will, and one of the reasons why it's important for us to really work on increasing the number of voters as well as young voters from 18 to 25. We want to have an impact in our governor race coming up next year. It'll be important to us because we want to make sure the issues that we care about are topics of conversation and that there will be action towards that. And also around the pay equity, as I mentioned earlier, we really will be looking to see how we can advance policies and some changes in our organizations throughout the Commonwealth.
I'm just curious, have you personally ever faced any challenges that a coalition like this could have helped you with in your life, earlier in your life?
Absolutely. You know, I was fortunate to have people around me that could be brain trust, but not all of us do. And definitely having a coalition like this to support you. Right now, as I mentioned, we're mentoring. So the reality is, in our lives today, our walk is different. And I just want to read something quickly for you. There was a report done 3 years ago on the White House Council on Women and Girls of Color. President Obama noted that women of color struggle every day with biases that perpetuate oppressive standards for how they're supposed to look, how they're supposed to act. Too often, they're left under the hard light of scrutiny or cloaked in the kind of invisibility. That was some of the passion that really led us, because we feel that our voices are not being heard, and the reality is that's our world every day, and we want to change that.
Tell me where people can go for more information, and where should people go for more information?
Sure. MAWOCC.com and Facebook.com/MAWOCC.
Finally, very quickly, who would you like to see join the coalition in 2018?
We would love to see more millennials join our base, and we will be pushing for that, and girls of color as well.
Okay, Celia Blue of Massachusetts Women of Color Coalition, thanks for coming in. And good luck with your campaigns coming up next year.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, coming up, the amazing story of the turnaround of the Mildred Avenue Middle School in Mattapan. That's right here on Urban Update.